What if your pilots had to take the airplane, turn it around, and land it backwards? Well, that's what the Gemini pilots did, and we're going to show you why. This program is brought to you by a great group of Patreon subscribers. Go to our Patreon page to read more. Join our Patreon supporters and get exclusive content and product discounts. In this issue of Spacecraft Guide, we are going to do some more work with the thrusters, but this week it's going to be with this switch over here, the OAMS switch, or the Orbital Attitude Maneuvering System. And when you click on it, it takes you to the OAMS, or the Orbital Attitude Maneuvering System Propellant switch. Now, as you can see, it opens and closes the propellant motor valves for the pressure to use for propulsion of the Orbital Attitude and Maneuvering System, the OAMS. Now, if we go into general and we look at what it is well, the Gemini spacecraft has an attitude maneuvering control capability, is two parts. And last week we did the re-entry control system. This week we're doing the orbital attitude and maneuvering system. So the orbiting or the re-entry control system, that was on the nose of the airplane, and the orbiting attitude maneuvering system, that's all back here. In this image of Gemini 7 in outer space, we get a great view of the rockets or the thrusters here, and this part here, the OAMS, the Orbital Attitude Maneuvering System, and here the re-entry control system. As you can see, these are smaller jets at the front of Gemini. And then this is basically the package. It has not only the thrusters, but it has the propellant inside, as we saw in that diagram. It's all in here. So these are the thrusters. You notice they have some smaller ones, and then they have some bigger ones. We're going to go into that for our Patreon subscribers. But what I wanted to let you know is this part here, this part, when they were re-entering, when they were going to go back to Earth, and they're doing the re-entry, this part, the white part, separated from the spacecraft. And you can see the astronauts were sitting in here. This is their window looking this way. And this is the heat shield. Now, what's interesting about that is this is the way that the spaceship goes back into Earth down here. So the heat shield is here. It goes this way. So instead of going this way like they normally do when they take off, now they're going to go backwards, which meant that when the astronauts were flying the Gemini capsule back to Earth, they were going backwards. So these thrusters here, they were sitting and looking towards the back of the spacecraft as they were going into the atmosphere. Now, the best way to explain that is, let's say you take a pilot of an airplane and you put them in the tail of the aircraft to fly it, and you give them a window, but that window looks backwards. So they're going to fly the airplane looking backwards, just relying on their instruments. That's what these astronauts did, and they landed within feet of their landing zone. It's like what SpaceX did. That's what these guys did without computers, just by the radio navigation that they had and their inertial navigation system. That, I think, is incredible. Now, for our Patreon subscribers, including our free subscribers, and if you'd like to subscribe to our free Patreon page, all you have to do is go to the link below, and that will take you to where you can sign up.
we are going to go over the schematics. So when we go over, or when we click on the schematics for the OAMS propellant switch,
That's all for this week. If you would like to use this interactive virtual reality exhibit on the command module, the lunar module, and the surface of the moon, just go to our Patreon page and the link will be down below.